Internet! Internet! What's going on? Beautiful, beautiful Monday. Welcome to February in Seattle, where it's 60 degrees and sunny. Who'd have thought? Total bananas. Before I forget, Monday, Technicolor Dream Pants Monday. And we're back messing around with the 180. And if you read the title, which of course I haven't written to this yet because I haven't uploaded it, because I'm doing the audio right now, which is odd. How does that work? If you read the title, I have recently added the Amano shrimps to the 180. The progression of the 180 continues. And, of course, the algae battle, the ongoing algae battle, which I've so far not really been able to take a break from, continues on. Here you can see a little bit of that Roripa, I believe. I might be saying that wrong, but it's actually sprouted up and kind of looks a little bit cooler than I thought it was going to. The other bush of it there, you can see I got some older leaves to trim, which I didn't do today, but now I'm going to make a mental note to go ahead and trim them. The algae battle continues, and I've been, of course, doing the water changes and manual removal, which is my advice I would give to anybody. Mess with your light time if you're having algae issues. Do some water changes, get your water stable, and manual removal, because wherever it's at that you don't like it, you can use your little meat hooks and get it on out of there. But yeah, who was it that advised me to get some mono shrimp? Somebody had mentioned it. I don't know if advised. Somebody had mentioned it, commenting about some Amano shrimp, and I had tried to get some, but where I went to get them, didn't have them. Well, they had one. Let me rephrase that. They had one, and I happened upon going to Petco after me and the lady went to one of the local stores, and they didn't have anything that we wanted, and also kind of had to deal with a bit of a rude situation, but we decided to swing by the Petco because it was on the way to the freeway to get back to sit in Seattle traffic, and decided to swing in there, and guess what? They had a whole shipment of Amano shrimps that were in, and so I bought all of them that they had, which was 13 of them. Those of you that know about Amano shrimp is that I will not be breeding these, just because of the issue. They're one of those critters that want to go from freshwater to saltwater to freshwater in order to breed, which I've experimented with in the past and had good results and bad results. I guess bad results in breeding is just no breeding, right? I mean, nobody died. I didn't die. I survived. The critters I was breeding survived. And they also had something in that, man, I had to have some serious restraint to not get the zebra nerites. I love those snails. Boy, howdy do I love those snails. Those are probably my favorite snail in the whole freaking world, is those zebra nerites. I avoided buying them mainly because they leave their little white eggs all over the driftwood, and this tank clearly has a lot of driftwood in it, and it would be all speckled from their eggs. And if I'm not going to breed the Amano shrimp, I'm certainly not going to be transferring the nerite eggs for breeding either. So I just had to resist that impulse buy of getting some nerites. It would be a positive move in here. And I want to make sure that people know I did not get the Amano shrimp to clear up the algae. But there will be an ongoing algae battle in this tank, probably for about another month, would be my guess, right around there. When the plants really get established and take hold, it's probably another month, which, of course, I have to keep reminding myself that I just have to keep going forward on this tank, and it will be pretty dope. Oh, man, look at that sweet cutaway I just did. That was smooth. That was some smooth editing there. Well, like I was saying, I need to keep reminding myself that this is going to be a pretty dope tank in a month or two once things have grown in and established. And right now I'm just in the midst of the algae battle, which I have a tendency to lose my mind and want to just completely tear things out, move them around, freak out, and do all that kind of stuff, which is I don't know, that's probably the American in me coming out a little bit. The total impatient, wanting to mess with things. This is... I was talking about the Nerite snails, but what I do have in this tank is ram's horns that are doing pretty darn well, I have to admit. They're breeding up pretty well, sort of competing with the fucking pond snails, which I can never... I can never get rid of pond snails. They're just always going to be around. But if I can get the ram's horn snails, because they are busters. Like, you see how fast that guy is going? I don't even think this video is sped up. No, it's not. That's just how fast he goes. They're remarkably fast for snails. But I dig them ram's horn snails, and I've got... Every time I find one in the 240, I throw them into the 180 here, because I'm trying to get them to proliferate. The plants are going fairly well so far, as to be expected. Of course, I bashed the mic there. The plants are going fairly well as far as, like, to be expected, I guess. Everything is going fairly well, except for the Sterigine repens. That is frustrating the hell out of me, and I've never seen it grow so epically slowly. In my experience, it proliferates pretty quickly, and for the life of me, I can't figure out what I'm doing wrong, because I've had a lot of experience with this plant, and it's a finicky plant, and sometimes it just does this kind of stuff because it's lacking something, or the light's not bright enough, or not enough CO2, or blah blah blah, whatever. I'm falling into all those categories, so I don't know exactly what I've done oddly here that has caused it to just grow super slow, and I'm 80% convinced to just go ahead and pull it out and put something else in there for multiple reasons. One, it's pissing me off. Two, I have a bunch of other plants that I could just put in there that I know are going to grow. So I'm torn right now. I'm a little bit torn, but I haven't made up my mind yet. But we'll see how... I guess we'll see how it goes coming along in the week. Speaking of coming along in the week, to those of you out there that are looking for a pretty reasonable light build for your aquarium, I have parts on order. Of course, I ordered them from Amazon, and I will put them in the Amazon store once I do that video. I'll put the parts list in there. But basically, I'm trying to figure out an affordable way to put together lights that that just about anybody could do. That's the stipulation that I've put on myself for this little light project that I'm doing. I'm doing it in a way that anybody could pull it off. So that means I'm not going to really be able to do any wiring. I'm not really going to be able to do any soldering or anything goofy like that I normally would do. So this is a little bit of a build that like anybody could do. That's the whole reason that I'm even doing this build at all. Plus, I wanted to see if some light bulbs that I got are good for growing plants. All my research says that they are good for growing plants. The company quote backs them up or whatever. But we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out for real. We're gonna actually test them versus other lights. So I'm probably gonna be doing that on the 240, mainly because it's long enough to be able to do one side with those light fixtures and one side without. But that's coming up later in the week, so go ahead and look forward to that. And got a couple of close-ups on the Amanos here. I think they're Japonica. What is it? Caridina japonica or whatever is the Latin name for them. There's a whole bunch of street names for them, but if you look up Amano shrimp, you'll be able to find them. They're just cool little busters, man. They are a very active shrimp, and it was one of the reasons I wanted them in here. They're large. I mean, they're not like a lobster large, but they're a big shrimp that are able to evade. So when I do get the actual fish to stock this tank with, and I'm not going to tell you what I'm stocking this tank with yet. I'm keeping that as a surprise. Well, don't blow the surprise. Man, what did I do with editing this video? I gotta mess with this before I upload it. Obviously I've done something goofy. But here's another part of me doing working on the manual removal. Oh, there's my head. My head gotten shot. Smooth. Doing some of the manual removal with the hose. The video's obviously sped up. I don't necessarily go this fast, and then I think I pop in a little bit doing things a different way. But I'm gonna explain what that other way is. So you can go to the drugstore and get yourself some 99-cent toothbrushes, just the ghetto ones. Don't worry about using it on your mouth. Buy the super cheap, crappy. I don't even know a name. It's not even like I don't think I have a name brand on them or whatever. But they're the super crappy toothbrushes you get like for free from the dentist or whatever. Go down and grab some of those. Those are a really good tool for removing algae off of driftwood and certain areas and whatnot. Oh, yeah, there's my fucking face. Hey, there's my toothbrush. There it is. Oh, man, we were talking about it. But it's a really good tool to be able to get in there and kind of get algae off of things because all the little bristles will, like, grab onto stuff without, yanking plants out and that kind of stuff. It's really helpful. So you can see me go in and go out. Once I got a bunch of the hairs like caught up in the bristles, I just pull it out and clean them off on a towel. And then you can see here I'm actually doing the driftwood and getting things off. I like to do this all before water change because then now I can let the tank run for a while. Somebody was trolling me, telling me I needed more flow in my tank. Yeah, I don't need more flow in my tank. The pump that flips the water in this tank, I think runs 1,500 gallons an hour. I think maybe 2,000 gallons an hour. I don't remember, but it's a big pump that's pushing a lot of water up a 1-inch pipe, and the water flips and the water flow in this tank. It doesn't seem like there's a ton of flow, even though you can see stuff moving around. It's because it's dispersed out within a 180, and this isn't a reef tank where I'm trying to do a wave simulation. You know, as most of you guys know, that wave simulation in the reef is the ocean going back and forth from the moon pulling on the water, the moon's gravitational pull pulling on the water for however many millions of years or whatever that is. I'm not trying to emulate that because this is a freshwater. This is a freshwater tank, and it doesn't look like things are going too buck wild in there, like there's too much flow going on. But there is plenty of flow going on. Really, when you get up and I can see it up close because I'm running the CO2 into the impeller of the pump, so I can see where all the microbubbles are going. So I don't really need to worry too much about trying to figure out the turbulence and like where things are going. I can actually see where things are going and have it directed. It's probably a couple of dead spots in the back left corner from the return over there. At some point I'll probably I'm probably going to add another return pump or a closed loop pump on the right hand side for that back area back there. But other than that, there's quite a bit of flow popping in and out of this tank and things moving around. I also have the lock line on the return, so I can fully adjust it and move it around whenever I want. But this right here is kind of like the third position I've had since I started up the tank, and I'm really happy with where the flow is right now. But yeah, you guys can see where that toothbrush comes in really handy, because you can just kind of swipe it on there, and all the little bristles are gonna grab all that algae and get it out of there. I'm basically just trying to beautify and keep this area going well until the plants overwhelm the algae, would be the best way to describe what's going on. So I'm just kind of pick and clean the spots where the algae is kind of built up, basically from where it's pulling nutrients off the substrate, where the light's hitting it, is kind of how that is basically the easiest way to describe exactly how that's going on. Yeah, I mean, that's just basically what I'm doing, is just pulling out the spot stuff. And like I said, I do a water change after I do all this stuff. I don't do the water change first. I wait till after, and I can also clean the filter pads and whatnot once that's gone on. Like I was saying earlier, I'm pretty satisfied with the direction that this tank is going. And to anybody out there that has been having the kind of issues that I have, especially with a new fresh startup tank, you gotta have patience. That's the thing that you gotta have with this, and I have to remind myself that I have to be patient, because in 1 or 2 months this tank is gonna be fantastic. I just have to have a little bit of patience and being able to look to the future and know that that it's going to come through and be pretty fantastic as long as I keep doing the work. You guys saw the subscribe thing up there pop up. Subscribe. Remember to subscribe for support the channel. I have the Amazon store is linked in the comments below. You guys can go there. I'm adding products to it as I find the ones that I've used before. Go ahead and use the Amazon store if you're going to order something. Head through that portal, and it gives me a slight little bit of kickback, and hopefully someday I can turn off these commercials. One thing Vicky and I were talking about yesterday was the possibility of starting a online petition to maybe petition somebody, but you know what? I don't even know who to direct that to. But hopefully someday we'll be able to get together and just start emailing the hell out of somebody. Oh crap, we're at the end. All right, later.